everybody, it's Daniela and this is
Jack here.
And we are back with our Survivor Castaway podcast. So we'll be covering episodes 8 and 9 today. Do you want to just dive right into it?
Why not?
Okay. So on the first episode that we're going to be covering today, episode 8, we see that Lauren gets an advantage. Finally, someone sees the advantage. It's been in the nails since the merge. We always see Cole using the nails on it, and finally someone actually sees it. Thank God it's Lauren.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I actually really like Lauren. Like, I'm liking her a lot. I think she's like a really great player, and like I like it. Overall, her getting the advantage, I like how she does it and everything. Like, she just sort of like sneaks into her bra.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm happy for her. I would have been a bit more conservative about telling people, because there's a lot of people there's a lot of people. Plus, if you're gonna go straight to Ben, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Ben's basically kingpin here, and it's like, why do you want to do that? Like, come on.
I do think that Lauren is like the solid number one, or the solid number 2 to Ben. Like, I do think that they have like a connection, so she probably does feel safe, but she has to be cautious because he is tight with everyone. Like, he's like the leader of the 7. Even the healers like want kind of his approval in a way, except for Joe.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't give a shit. But like, I don't know. Like, I feel you. I would be cautious because he is kind of running everything, and he could easily, like, we even see in the next episode, he's quick to, flip on Ryan.
Yeah.
Who's not even a healer. So I don't know.
Yeah, and like that's the thing though too. It's like, it's obviously Survivor, and like that's how everything works. But it's like, that's one thing I'll say about Ben. It's like, okay, Ben's playing a hard game, and it's like, I don't think he really has anybody controlling him. A lot of people have a loyalty to him, and the biggest thing is like, we all look at Joe, and it's like, Joe's such a threat, but it's like, really, it's Ben that's a threat here. He has a really good set of relationships here. Joe can do a bunch of wild and crazy shit, but it's like, come on. At the end of the day, like, Ben, the guy who has all these relationships, is a bigger threat.
Absolutely. His social network is like it reaches way more people. Like, he literally has connections with everyone, whereas Joe is like mostly ostracized from the group. And yeah, he's good at finding idols, and he's a little bit crazy, but you're right, Ben is definitely a bigger threat. So Lauren should watch out, but for now I feel like she's safe with him.
Yeah, for sure.
For now, even when the 7 cannibalizes, I feel like she'll be okay for a while, hopefully.
But I feel like in a way, like, you have to do the math here. Like, she should definitely start talking with the like other healers and stuff, just because like, if she doesn't do that, I don't think it would be great like for her game. But
do you think that the healers, like, I feel like they're just gonna knock the healers out, or they're just gonna do a pagonging of them, and they're just gonna be out? Like, I don't know. The only one I can see them working with now is Mike, if he can find a way in.
Oh no, I think yeah, like, I think Mike could definitely find a way in, but it's like, you have to look at the numbers. Like, Joe said it himself. It's like, the second that like, as less and less healers are there, more and more people start doing the math. Okay, what rung are they on? Are they on the top rung, the bottom rung, the middle rung? And like, at the end of the day, it is a game, and like, if you're at the bottom rung, you really need to fight to get the people on the top rung back on the bottom.
That's very
so
true.
Yeah,
hopefully they can figure it out. I mean, I really want Mike to go further.
Oh yeah.
So I hope he can figure out a way to like hustle his way into a group, because he's so funny, man. That guy's jokes.
He is freaking adorable. I love it.
He is. I really do like him. I hope good things come.
I'm happy he found the idol too.
Oh my god, yeah, that was iconic. That was iconic. And further on, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about his idol play. Was it a good choice? Who knows? Stay tuned. But now we're going to just stick to the episode we're talking about now, which is 8. And we'll talk about the reward challenge a little bit, which was a little bit crazy, a little bit wild, because they threw in a little hint under that plate, which was a little bit crazy. How'd you feel?
Honestly, I really did like that challenge, and how it was sort of like, you got the big plate of food, everybody, you eat whatever you need to and stuff, and like, I really did like that. I think it was smart that they sort of hid it under the plate. It made it obvious, yes, but it was like, it really shows like, you don't want to go first. Like, there's patience in not having food, there's patience in like waiting and stuff. So yeah, I really did like that, and I like how they all like sort of strategically did it, and like hid it into the woods, and like Ryan, or like put the towel over it. It's just sort of funny. Yeah, that was I like the way this, like, I like seeing different ways people are trying to like hide the clue. Like, well, first off, I loved seeing Chrissy hunt for it, because she's like, I've been applying for like 16 years or something, and I was like, yeah girl, get it, because she right when she sat down, she's like
You know, like, it was so good. And I was like, that would be me if I were on the show fully. I'd be flipping over every napkin, like, tablecloth would be coming off. But I liked how Ryan actually thought of, like, throwing it in the woods.
Yeah.
Because Cole found the clue, and he just put, like, a towel under the sauce. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, under the thing. And
it was so obvious, I feel like. I don't know. Like, if you were there, maybe you didn't think about it because all you see is food. But, like, who does that?
Yeah. Mr. like 8,000 calories, like, come on, like, I just don't think that he like, that's one thing I'll say about Cole. It's like, I really do like Cole, but it's like, I think on a mental capacity level, like, he doesn't really think that far ahead, per se, like, socially and everything, we get to see that, and yeah.
I agree. He has, I think I said this before, but he has all, like, all the ingredients to be a kind of good player. Ingredients is not a good word, but you know what I mean.
Like
all the
skills.
kind of all the skill set to be a good player, like, kind of, because he's good looking, you know, he's personable, kind of. We see him eating too much food, but I mean, like, he seems to be mostly personable, but then he just makes these moves, and I'm like, can you please tell me how your brain is working? Like, I just want to know. I just want to go in there and be like, why did you think that would be the thing you should be doing? I don't know, but it's his life, whatever. It's not going to take him that far, as we see. Another spoiler alert, but yeah, no, it was a good way to see, however, and even them talking on the beach afterwards was so funny. Like, Chrissy and Ryan are just fucking chatting away, and then Cole's like, what are you talking about? What you whispering about? They're like, oh, nothing, you know, no big deal. And like, well, the Cole actually was like, he like actually realized, oh shit, like, I gotta go look for this thing. But Ryan beat him to the punch, which was jokes.
That was the funniest moment of the episode, when it's like Ryan goes down, finds the idol, shoves it in his pants, and then Chrissy runs down, and everybody realizes she's looking for the idol, but like the idol's already been found, and like Ryan just sort of standing there awkwardly, like, what do I do? So yeah.
That was so dope. That was funny. But then now, just Chrissy knows he has an idol. She must.
Oh, but yeah.
Because he was like covered up by God already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now Ryan put himself in a kind of predicament because, well, yes and no, because a lot of people think Cole has the idol because he was looking, like, he was seen, like, rolling around with Christy, like, under the flag. But then Ryan kind of puts his foot in his mouth. He tells, okay, Devin I understand because they've been bros since, like, day one.
Yeah.
So I get that, like, live your life, whatever. But why would you tell Ben? Like, I feel like everyone wants his approval so badly, but, like, Ben didn't need to know.
No.
You know, like, and then it fucking blows up in his face, you know? I don't know.
Exactly. Like that's the one thing I'll say. It's like, okay, wait. Like, I can 100% understand, because it's like, okay, when you, like, if you have that much of a pairing with somebody, yes, 100%.
Sure.
I would tell, in the same situation, tell Devin. But it's like, gotta do the math here. It's like, okay, well, I understand you have the, like, round table of 7, but it's like, you gotta do the math on who's the bigger players, who's the smaller players, and it's like, I feel like maybe he underestimated that in a sense, where it's like, I understand that he maybe is seeking his approval, but it's like, the math here says, like, this guy's a big threat. You shouldn't be telling as many people as you've told, because it really is, like, if he found out and then, like, say, Ben wanted to backstab him, he could always say, oh, he has an idol, let's flush his idol.
Exactly.
Done.
I know, and then we see him just totally, I don't know. I did not think it was smart. Like, Ryan, you're a super fan. Like, see you never. Like, what are you doing? But then also, okay, it's easy to judge while I'm sitting here on my couch eating potato chips. But, you know, you've watched, I'm assuming, every season. It's better to keep it close to your chest, you know, that kind of stuff. And use it as power and use it as leverage. Like, he didn't need to be leveraging people right now. He's safe.
Like, he said to himself, too, like, trust is an important factor in this game. Sure. But it's like, how far do you want to go with trust? And it's like, I feel like maybe he went a bit too far when it came to trust and everything. Like, he should have maybe not trusted these people as much as he did. And
he even, like, I feel like he had enough trust. Like, Ben trusted him enough that he didn't really need to pull that out right now.
Yeah.
Maybe when it came to the 7 to pull them into a majority alliance, sure. That would have been a perfect time to show people. But, like, it seemed preemptive. Like, I don't know. I don't think it would aid him well in the future. So, Ryan, not feeling the fantasy for you. I'm sorry. But I mean, you're not in trouble right now, so it's chill. Right now.
So the immunity challenge was like I like that they're doing a lot of original challenges and stuff. We see it in this episode, and in episode 9, it was like you got like the holding the statue on the very long pole kind of challenge where they're balancing on the beam. A lot of balancing going on. Yeah. And it was between like JP and Cole, and then JP was like deuces, and Cole won. Which is awesome. Yeah,
that was actually, I mean, he really knew he had to save his ass because people were starting to get tired of his antics. People thought he had the idol and they wanted to flush it. Like, he was in hot water, so he knew he was like, now or never, like, I gotta do it. And he did pull it out, and I'm proud of him. Good for him. Like, he lived his life, he stayed another 3 days, and that was good. But that means we're gonna have to look at another healer for tribal council night because they're not gonna go past the 7. Like, they want to stay 7 strong. So what we have left is Dr. Mike, Joe, and Desi. For me, if I were on the island, that's an easy pick of Joe.
Yeah, obviously.
Just for the sake of sanity. Just for the sake of sanity. But, I mean, there's obviously more politics that go into it. So we see a lot of talking on the beach and a lot of discussion between, I think Mike is in the clear this week.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of not really talked about too much because he seems to be kind of like the floating 8th person in that 7-person
line. He'll go
line.
wherever, he doesn't really...
Yeah, he doesn't, like, he's easy to kind of, like, he likes to please people, like, in the majority. So, like, he's easy to kind of control his vote. So it's kind of between Desi and Joe. Desi because she's kind of connected to Joe, which kind of sucks for her. But we see at Final Tribal Council that things don't really go her way.
No. And, like, I have to admit, like, she says it herself where it's like, okay, I sort of trust Joe, but it's like, if you're going to be putting your faith in someone, it's just not, like, that's not smart. Like, you're playing a game here. If you're going to put all your faith into them, it's like, what are you doing here? Yeah. Obviously, it's not smart to do that. Like, you should put your faith into other options to always be out there. And I just feel like maybe she didn't have all those options out there, and I think that's what really kicked her in the butt.
I agree, yeah. It's kind of hard to, like, kind of get in between that solid 7, as well as her, like, ties with Joe kind of put her in the doghouse because, like, I don't know, it just wasn't something she could really kind of come back from. So that kind of kicked her in the butt. And she seemed to be more of a strong competitor than Joe. Like, we've already seen her win the first immunity challenge, and she is physically fit. Whereas Joe hasn't won any. Like, I mean, he's won team challenges, but no solo challenges yet. So, and she's also just more likable. So I feel like all of those together kind of just were the last nail in her coffin.
It was interesting that they went to sort of a tie where it was like either Joe or Desi, and it's like a lot of people are like, okay, well, yeah, she's obviously a threat physically, like socially she can be seen as a threat. It's just interesting to see. It's like, for me, I sort of look at Joe and I'm like, obviously he's more of a threat, but on a strategic level, it's always more important to keep the bigger threat in the game rather than the physical threat that could obviously win a lot more immunity challenges. So I thought it was a good decision, but yeah, like, it was okay.
I also like seeing Lauren use her advantage.
Yeah.
I liked her throwing it in her bra. Or, like, the second time she was so over it, she just kind of went like, bye, like, I don't care. She did play it really good, really slick, and only Ben knew, so that was good for her. Now she has I wonder if she's going to use that, probably when the 7 starts to kind of cannibalize, but it was good for her. She had something in her back pocket now. She doesn't have to solely rely on, like, her relationship with Ben, which is nice.
Yeah, and, like, there's some power there. There's obviously some authority, but, like, I think that's where, like, I feel like she needs to become a lot more of a power player to use that, like, to be a leader and, like, not go to Ryan or not go to Ben and be like, look, this is what's going on. I have a, like, second vote. What do we need to do? Yeah. Actually figure out what she wants to do in this game to move herself forward.
Yeah, and she needs more people coming to her. I feel like she goes to Ben a lot. And a lot of people go to Ben for advice, but no one really goes to her. Yeah. She needs more people to rely on her, for sure. So hopefully we see that coming into the final 7. But we'll see, I guess. That kind of sums up episode 8. And now we can move on to episode 9, which was really exciting as well.
Yeah, I know.
There was a lot of good stuff that happened in episode 9. A lot more exciting tribal council. I mean, that one was pretty good too. Yeah. It was pretty good going to the tie and stuff, but we see Mike finally finds his voice. He does not want to play it safe anymore, which is very interesting. Yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to put all of his faith in the healers and be, like, sort of spread out a bit more and, like, talk to other people and, like, plant little seeds of doubt so they can grow and, like, play a good game.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I really like that he finally kind of like found the balls to be like, hey, like this is what I feel like. We don't have to listen to Ben. Like, let's do some stuff here.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, get it, girl. Like you say it. Like.
And then you're all just found his balls.
Oh my God, stop. That's good. He did find his balls, and I'm proud. I'm proud of him. But we'll get to tribal council later.
Yeah,
we'll start at the beginning.
Later.
We start with a reward challenge, which the team with the majority healers won the reward. So I think it was like Chrissy, Joe.
Chrissy.
Joe, Cole, Mike,
and
then someone else. Maybe Ben. I don't remember.
Well, Cole. I think Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't quote us.
Don't quote us. But it was someone along those lines. And then the other team was, it's so funny. They were passing by their little campsite.
Yeah, and they're like honking the horn and stuff, and it was just hilarious.
It was so good. And then the other guys were like kind of PO'd. They're like, you know what? They're having a good time on the boat. Screw them. And they all just moon them.
Yeah, like Jessica, who else? Ryan. Devin. I think it was like about 5 of them.
Yeah,
and like JP.
Yeah, it was so jokes. I was laughing. I was like, get it? That was so funny.
Yeah. It's like that's how you do it on here on Survivor. It's like if you ain't getting the reward, you gotta show your ass.
I know. Oh my God, that was joke. It was like one of those like unedited things like you don't expect to see in the episode, and you're like, oh my God. But it was good. It was funny. It added some light to like a crazy ass episode, or it just added more crazy.
Yeah.
It was good though. Very funny. And then we also see some like little like inter-alliance shenanigans, because we all know that Devin is tight with Ryan, but Ryan found the idol, so of course he's gonna tell his number one. He's like, yo dude, I found the idol, don't tell anyone, it's in my pants. And Devin's like, okay cool, this is so great, we're gonna be the best. But then Ryan runs his mouth and tells other people, and it causes a boatload of issues. Like now we got him running his mouth. I don't know why everyone feels the need to tell Ben everything.
Yeah, like come on, like I get it, people, like Ben's important, but it's like you really like who's important here? Is it like you're important because you need to win this game? It's like that personal drive. Why are you wanting to tell other people? Why don't you tell your own story? And like I feel like maybe there's other perspectives, but it's like really Ben is in the best position right now. Like he has Chrissy, that will always be loyal to him. Ryan, who will be loyal to him. Lauren, who's told him about her advantage, loyalty. Devin.
He's like everyone. Even Dr. Mike would probably help.
Dr. Mike could, yeah. JP, because JP's attached to Chrissy. And they were all 3 heroes.
The only one who doesn't really have is Joe, but no one cares because it's Joe. He doesn't really have much pull, so no one really feels the need to make an alliance with him. But we see that it really backfires in Ryan's face when Devin and Ben. Well, Ben tells Devin about the idol, and then Devin's like, I thought he was my number one. Why is he blabbing about this? What the heck? And so it kind of puts distrust in Devin for Ryan. And he's Ben is already planting like seeds of doubt and preparing himself for when all the healers are gone and they have to kind of figure out how to like who's going next out of the 7. So that's kind of smart. He's playing like 1,000 steps ahead, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Ben is still on my winner's pick. He's not, but he's doing a great job, so I really can't say anything about that. Yeah. Just personal preference, but no, he's doing great. Honestly, he really is. The only thing is he's a little bit stubborn. Yeah, and like he's not willing to like at least like look like he's trying to have a conversation with everybody, because like he like as like I think Jessica said and stuff. It was like he looked like he was having a dictatorship, not a conversation. And like in order to build a community, you want to have a conversation. Mm-hmm. And like that's the whole thing. It's like he can't build a proper alliance with people because he doesn't have proper communication with everybody. And that's the main key, I'll say. Yeah, he is like friendly enough, but when it comes to like strategic opinions, like it's kind of like his way or the highway, which is not a good way to kind of play the game, because it is social and everyone has to feel like they are valued and they're getting their voice heard, right? Because if you run it like a dictatorship, you're gonna have people resent you. Like that's just the name of the game. So hopefully he can recover from the hit, but he does get he catches some heat in tribal council, you know, so he is on people's radars, and he does catch some heat on the beach as well. People are kind of not happy with it, so we'll see a little bit later how it kind of affects him. But right now we'll talk about immunity, because that's what happens next. And that one was a really tough competition.
Oh yeah, it was a weird challenge. I liked it though.
I liked it too, but like I was thinking at home, I was like, I cannot even do a wall sit for like a cool 30 seconds, and these people are up there for like, I couldn't even do it for like a minute, and these people are up there for like multiple minutes, stressing out. Like I don't even know how long like Lauren lasted, but I like the strategy where they were like tilted back and like they had their
arms out, back. Like Batman, sort of.
Yeah, kind
like
of.
Superman.
To like stretch their legs out, but it's very difficult because you don't have leeway up or down. You know, if you go too high up, what was it? The jug? Like,
the jug will fall.
And if you go too far down, the flag would raise.
Yeah, because it's on like it's cut on an angle, so it's like if it goes on that angle, it will like slide. And then you have like the other way, and it will be like the flag.
Yeah, which is very difficult because you really don't get much wiggle room, like pun intended, to wiggle because like it's difficult, and you know you get really stiff. But I was really surprised that Lauren pulled out the W. I was like, get it, girl, you know.
There we go.
Because I'm assuming she's usually like used to sitting in a boat, like, you know, just chilling, like not like, you know, like, how do you train for that? Like,
you got to be like an Olympic skier to do that. Like,
right?
Honestly,
That's true.
Like for me, it's like honey, just just thinking about doing a wall sit just makes me stressed out. It's like actually doing that for like however long. It's like the only other challenge that was really honestly similar to that was in Thailand, like on the finale, like when it was the final 3, and Brian like killed it and won the immunity because like where he had to like do the little like pose, and it's like.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I remember that with all that stuff, and they were like at Joe Council.
Yeah,
that was fun.
And it was like that's the only other challenge where I'm like thinking about where it's like, oh, that's actually similar to it. But yeah, like that is a tough challenge. I like it though where they did like the whole like flame going out with the vase. And, like, they got like some good B-roll action with that, like
really,
the transition.
Though, it looked dope. It was so sick, and it was very like foreshadowing to tribal council. Like your flame will be snuffed, you know. So I liked it a lot. I'm glad Lauren pulled out the W because like she's my girl. I'm rooting for her, and I don't know, it was really dope. And then now we go back to the beach, and there's some ruckus ensuing because Ben is, you know, doing his usual dictator routine, and people are like sick of it, especially Ashley, because Ashley's like, yo, like this guy's getting on my nerves. This guy being Joe, and like I want him out, and like he's literally like bumming out the camp morale, like bye, we don't want him around. And Ben's like, I don't care. So it's kind of like you have no leeway, you have no discourse, there's nothing going on. So
and like they created a really good like edit where it was like, okay, you see him going out and like trying to find the idols, like during the reward challenge, him like cutting through the whole cake because he wants to see if there's clues in there.
So funny.
And he's like walking around like carrying the whole place up, and it's like, is this not that obvious? Like he's a huge physical threat, good for him, good, very big strategic threat, good for him, and like can blow anything up in any second, in any minute.
He's really good at like egging people on, like even like saying like you swore on your like military or navy, like whatever he was in status, and like Ben was like, I didn't do that, but like it was so obvious that Joe was like just trying to like fucking neg him, and it worked. Like Ben is so easily wound up, and Joe is so good at like annoying the crap out of people that it's actually kind of working for him, and I'm like low-key pissed about it. I'm like, how is this working for you right now? Like, I don't know, but Joe has got his own weird strategy that at first I did not like, but now I have come to kind of, it's kind of like a Russell feel. Like at first I'm like, oh, Russell, like, but then you just kind of are like, damn, like you're actually, like it's working.
Yeah.
And, like,
it does definitely change the game. Like when you have someone who just can at any moment just annoy you and like really is bothersome, like that's how you change the game really. Because it's like, how do you handle with that person? Like how do you strategize? Like even with him, he's such a like very strategic and everything. Like he can so easily manipulate you to take the wheel. Yeah, for sure. It was, I don't know, they're both kind of wild characters, Joe and Ben. They're just both kind of like, they're kind of opposites, but both in their own way kind of like, ugh, you know, like they got a lot kind of they have to deal with, or like figure out how to kind of play the social game a bit better. Yeah. I don't know, but Ben does catch a lot of flack for not being flexible because the majority of his alliance is kind of like, we want Joe out, like he's super annoying, and he's like, no, stick with the plan. So then at Tribal Council, we see Mike kind of like, Mike kind of, you know, he kind of came into his own, you know, he took life by the balls, and he said what he wanted to say, and he was very like eloquent about it, you know? He was good about it. I liked it. I don't know. How'd you feel? I sort of did like that, like I like how he sort of took it by the balls. Like I think it was smart. Like it was smart. I like how
like kind of described the game in his own viewpoint. Well, kind of, I don't know if he was trying to paint a target on his back to try to get the votes on him. Like, it kind of felt like he was negging people so that he could ensure that if he played the idol, it was going to cancel out his votes and keep his healer safe. Or if that's literally how he felt, I don't know. Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah, like I think Mike sort of felt like he was just the way the match was going, like it was sort of becoming more and more inevitable that he would need to use his idol. Because like he obviously, even if he did make it and he was the last healer, he would have to use his idol come the next tribal council. And even with that, like he'd have to really be a leader and grab a bunch of people and form an alliance. And even with that, how strong would that be? Yeah. Because he would be at the very, very bottom rung there, and he'd have to find a way to climb up. And really, at that point, when you have a loyal core, a loyal alliance, how far do you think he's going to go?
Not that far, to be honest. I hope he goes further, but I wish he saved that. Like, didn't they tell him that Cole was the one on the chopping block? I swear that Mike talked to Ben.
Yeah, Mike talked to Ben.
Cole.
He's like, hey, like who he does like I'm wondering how should I vote? Yeah. And Ben sort of looks at him. He's like, don't worry about anything else. Just vote for Cole. Yeah. And he's like, okay, but like that's the thing though. He wouldn't know like unless he talked to somebody else about it and was like, and they told him like full out, there's gonna be 4-3 split. Like here's the sitch and everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Yeah,
that's true too. I just wish that he would. I just wish he had it because I feel nervous for him. Like, who's left? Joe and him. Like, I think Joe's going next, but I could easily say, okay, let's say Joe again because like no one's gonna vote for him at final 3 or final 2, whatever. Let's just keep him in, and he'll just fucking snake his way to final 2 or 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Mike is very much in a hot spot, in a dangerous spot. Come next tribal, like I really don't see it going his way unless he pulls out a W in the next immunity, which I'm not banking on because he hasn't really done well in any of them yet. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I feel bad for him. I really want him to do well. Well, he's safe now. Spoiler alert, he's fine. Don't worry. Mike is still alive and kicking, thank God, because he's so funny.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. The one thing I'll say though that I found really interesting about Mike, because he sort of brought up like the topic of what was it? It was like society, and I think it's like high like character morale or whatever, where it's like or ethics or whatever. Like I found it really interesting how he sort of brought up like society and how this game is a reference to society and everything, and I found that really interesting about how he did that. Because it's like that is the whole point of this game. Like obviously Big Brother and Survivor are both two different complexes of society and how people do function in those different environments and how the game's structured. And I found that interesting how he's sort of speaking his mind and just being like, listen up people, this is just sort of what's going on, like this is how I sort of view it, and like it was interesting to see like them sort of agree or disagree or whatever about that sort of thesis, and it got brought back to that though at the end of it, and it was sort of like it was a good conversation to be had.
Yeah, definitely. And Jeff, like you saw Jeff was eating it up. He loved it. Yeah. Jeff was like, tell us more. And I was like, Jeff is living for this. But Mike he has a way with words. He's very, like, he's a smart guy. Yeah. Like, you know, he knows what's going on. He's not dumb. Like, I don't know. I like listening to him talk. I think he's just smart and, like, he's also entertaining. He's just a good guy. Yeah. He's just, like, one of the genuine good guys. And I really hope that things kind of come up Mike soon, hopefully. But we'll see. I feel like there'll be cracks. And I think that Joe and maybe Mike, if they team up, can wreak some havoc.
And like it just look at the next episode's preview, like it does look like Lauren may go up to it may potentially go up to them and talk to them about that. Like you could see Ryan do that as well, because like there are the people on the bottom rungs that are going to do that will most likely do that.
Yeah, you're so right. I think that will totally happen. I think that they have a way to kind of fit their way in there, especially if one of them wins immunity and. If they put another idol in play, now all of them are played, right? Is there any left that are in play? Does Joe have one?
No, just Ryan's.
Oh yeah, Ryan, whatever. Wait, Ryan found it on the beach. No, there probably would not be another one in play until he plays that.
Well, no, because there could be one for Mike's idol, but I'm not sure.
I don't know either, to be honest. But if they put another one in play, things to get interesting. Yeah. Or. Alternatively, if Ryan figures out that he's on the bottom now that Ben and Devin have teamed up, he groups up with the remaining healers and drags someone else, they could kind of do a solid 4 and vote someone off from the other side. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing here.
Yeah.
Trying to find a way to keep my faves safe, but we'll see.
Making some Survivor fan fiction here on the podcast.
I know. I just like what I would want to happen, but it never happens. I feel like I jinx it, and then like nothing I ever want happens, and then we get like weird ass winners, and I'm like, why? But whatever. Yeah. Regardless, this week it was Cole's demise. I feel like we didn't say that, but Cole, he left.
Yeah.
He tried to kind of hide in the background, especially when Mike was taking center stage. But even with Mike's played idol on himself, I mean, Mike only got 2 votes on himself anyways. So he didn't really cancel out much of anything. Cole was majority, how do you say that?
Majority of the vote.
Majority of the vote. I don't know. There's a word, but I can't think of it. But he was voted out in the majority, and he went home. I feel like he knew it was going to happen. He just hoping it wasn't.
Yeah.
Especially when Mike opened his mouth. But yeah, no, he was the one to go.
Yeah, and like I'm not shocked that that's 100% of a Ben move, because Ben obviously talked about like a few episodes before about how he just doesn't may not respect Cole, and like everything, and it's like it just sort of proves how much power he has.
True. Ben is the kingpin, like you said before. He's got a lot of power, and I'd like to see that crumble in the next couple episodes. That'd be great TV.
Fingers crossed.
I know, right? No ill feelings towards Ben. I just like good TV.
Yeah.
So that would be great to see. Yeah. That's all I have to say, unless you want to add anything.
No, nothing else really. I'm excited for the next few episodes of Survivor leading up to the finale of season 35.
That's going to be a fun podcast.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to talk about
the reunion. That's my favorite part. I love it.
Yeah.
So wait for that one.
Wait for it.
Subscribe. It'll come up on your thing.
Subscriber thing. Also, as well, before we leave, we are officially on Podbean. And for you audio listeners, congratulations for listening to our Podbean podcast. Sorry if we're not really good audio-wise, but... yeah.
We're working on it.
We're working on it here, people.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jack Skinner.
And I'm Danny P. Dino Shola.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great night, and if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe on the bottom part right here, where like the end screen will be. Along with that, check out our last episode. Check out all the other 4 episodes. Because they're great. They're awesome.
Yeah, we can kind of go through the season together, which will be fun.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.